Your discipline does not break in the morning. It does not break at the gym door. It does not break when the alarm goes off. It does not break when the work gets hard. It breaks the night before. In the 10 minutes when your mind is most open, most tired, and most willing to accept whatever you feed it. And most people feed it a scream. Napoleon Hill called those 10 minutes the most valuable real estate a human being owns. By the end of this, you will know exactly what he did with them, why he insisted it be done out loud, and why the men he studied said the morning took care of itself once the night was handled. Stay with me, because the ritual is short, but the order matters. And getting the order wrong is why it has never worked for you. Think about the last time you broke a promise to yourself. Not the moment you skipped it, the night before it. You told yourself tomorrow starts the change. Then you picked up the phone. An hour disappeared. You went to bed later than you meant to, with your mind full of other people's lives, other people's opinions, other people's arguments. And when the alarm went off, the person who had to keep the promise was not the person who made it. He was tired, foggy, and already behind. That is not a willpower problem. That is a sequencing problem. You asked the weakest version of yourself to keep a promise the strongest version made, and you gave him no help. Every night you do that, the gap between the two of you gets a little wider, and you start to believe the weak one is who you really are. He is not. He is just the one who was left undefended. Hill spent a quarter of a century studying the 500 most successful people of his age, and one thing kept showing up that had nothing to do with talent. Almost all of them had a fixed way of ending the day, not a routine of tasks, a routine for the mind, because they had discovered something most people never do. The last thing you give your mind before sleep is the first thing it works on while you are unconscious. Hill wrote that the subconscious mind works day and night, whether you direct it or not, and that it is most open to instruction at two moments, just before sleep and just after waking. Most people spend the first moment scrolling and the second moment scrolling. So the most powerful part of their mind gets no instructions from them at all. It gets instructions from an algorithm. Here is the first thing to change, and you can do it tonight. The phone goes down 10 minutes before you intend to sleep, not on the pillow, not face down on the nightstand, in another room. Hill did not have a phone, but he had the same enemy in a different shape. He called it drifting, letting anything outside you decide what your mind does. The night ritual begins the moment you refuse to drift. Let me ask you something. If someone offered to whisper one sentence into your ear every night as you fell asleep, and you knew that sentence would shape how you thought the next day, would you let a stranger choose it? Of course not, but that is exactly what happens. In 1938, Hill wrote a book he was afraid to publish for decades, Outwitting the Devil. In it, the devil confesses how he controls the majority of the human race, not through temptation, through drifting. People who have no definite plan for their own minds simply absorb whatever is put in front of them. And the devil admits, the easiest time to plant a thought is when a person is tired and passive. Tired and passive. That is you, at 10:30 at night, with a screen in your hand. Hill was blunt about the consequence. He said the mind that is not deliberately fed at night wakes up hungry for the wrong things. Comfort, delay, one more day, and you experience that hunger as a lack of discipline, when in truth you simply forgot to feed the mind the night before. So, the men Hill studied did not try to be disciplined in the morning. They decided the morning the night before, and they did it on purpose, in a specific way, at a specific moment. That specific way is what I am going to walk you through now. It takes about 10 minutes. It has 4 parts, and they must be done in this order. Stay with me, because the 4th part is the one that made Napoleon Hill himself uncomfortable to talk about publicly for years. And it is the part that turns this from a routine into something closer to a superpower. Here is the mistake almost everyone makes when they hear about a night ritual. They pick the one part that sounds nice, usually gratitude or visualization. They do it for 3 nights and nothing changes, so they decide it does not work. It did not work because they were planting before they had cleared the ground. Hill described the subconscious like a garden. It grows whatever it is fed. But if you plant a seed on top of the day's weeds, the anxiety, the unfinished argument, the thing you avoided, the seed has nowhere to go. The weeds win. So the ritual is not 4 separate habits. It is one sequence. Close the day, then decide tomorrow, then speak the aim, then see it. Close, decide, speak, see. Close first, so the mind is empty. Decide second, so drifting is impossible. Speak third, so the aim gets in with feeling. See last, so it is the final image before sleep. Do them in any other order, and you are speaking over noise, or seeing without direction, or deciding tomorrow while today is still screaming for attention. Do them in this order, and the mind goes to sleep with one job, and it does that job all night. Now let me give you each one exactly the way Hill described it, with the time it takes. Part 1. Close the day. 2 minutes. In the Law of Success, Hill gave his students a nightly self-analysis, a set of questions to ask before sleep. You do not need all of them. You need one. Did I move toward my chief aim today, or away from it? Answer honestly, in one sentence, out loud or on paper. Not a journal entry, not a confession. One sentence. If you moved toward it, say what you did. If you moved away, say what pulled you. Then say the words Hill's students were taught to say. That day is closed. Here is what it sounds like in practice. Today, I moved toward it. I made the 2 calls I was avoiding. That day is closed. Or, today I moved away. I let the afternoon disappear into my phone and never opened the file. That day is closed. No judgment attached to either. You are not scolding yourself. You are filing the day so the mind can let go of it. This sounds too small to matter. It is not. The mind cannot rest on an unfinished day. It keeps the file open, and it works on the file all night, and you wake up tired without knowing why. Closing the day is how you hand the file back. 2 minutes. Done. Part 2. Decide tomorrow. 2 minutes. Hill tells of a man he studied who was asked the secret of his relentless output. The man said he never once decided in the morning what he would do that day. He decided it the night before, in one line, and he wrote it where he would see it first. Because in the morning, he said, a man is a coward. At night, he is brave. So let the brave man give the orders. That is part 2. Before sleep, write one line, not a list. One line. The single hardest thing you will do tomorrow, and the exact time you will start it. The hardest thing, because that is the one your morning self will negotiate out of. The exact time, because a decision without a time is a wish. Hill called this definiteness of purpose applied to a single day. And here is what it does to discipline. It removes the decision from the morning entirely. You do not wake up and choose to do the hard thing. You wake up and the choice was already made by someone braver than you last night, and all you have to do is obey him. Close. Decide. 4 minutes. Now the part that most people skip, and it is the engine. Part 3. Speak the aim. 3 minutes. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill lays out 6 steps for turning desire into its physical equivalent, and the 6th step is the one people quietly ignore. He said to write out a clear statement of what you want, when you want it, and what you will give for it. And then to read that statement aloud, twice a day. Once just before retiring at night, once upon arising in the morning. And as you read, to see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of it. Aloud. He was specific about that. Not read silently, not thought about. Spoken. Why does that matter? Because Hill discovered that the subconscious does not respond to words. It responds to words charged with feeling. A sentence read silently in your head is a thought. A sentence spoken aloud, in your own voice, in a quiet room, with the day closed and tomorrow decided, is an instruction. Your ears hear it. Your body feels it. And the mind, which is most open in exactly this moment, has nothing else competing for the space. So, this is what you do. Take your chief aim, the one thing you are building your life toward. If you do not have one written yet, write it tonight. One sentence. And it will be rough, and that is fine. Stand or sit up. Do not do this lying down half asleep. Say it aloud, slowly, 3 times. And on the 3rd time, put feeling behind it, not performance. Certainty. The tone you would use to state a fact about yourself that no one could argue with. Hill practiced this himself, and he was honest about how it began. When he first wrote out his own chief aim, to organize the philosophy of achievement and put it in the hands of ordinary people, he said he read it aloud in a rented room and felt like a fool talking to the walls. He had no money, no publisher, and no reason anyone should listen. He read it anyway, morning and night, for years. The book you are hearing about right now, which has sold tens of millions of copies, is what those spoken sentences eventually became. The words came first. The evidence came later. That is the order. and it never runs the other way. Hill said this felt ridiculous to nearly everyone the first week. He also said the ones who pushed through the ridiculous week were the ones whose lives changed. Because the feeling of foolishness is just the old mind objecting to new orders. It fades. The orders remain. 3 minutes. Close. Decide. Speak. 9 minutes. 1 minute left. And it is the strangest one. Part 4. See it. The last minute before sleep. Now the part Hill hesitated to publish. In the final chapter of Think and Grow Rich, Hill admitted something he had kept private for years. Every night, as he lay down to sleep, he held an imaginary meeting. He called it his Council of Invisible Counselors. 9 men he admired most in history. Emerson, Lincoln, Edison, Darwin, Carnegie, Ford, Napoleon, Burbank, Paine. He would close his eyes, picture them seated around a table, and address each one in turn, asking for the quality he wanted from that man. Emerson's understanding of nature, Lincoln's sense of justice, Ford's persistence. He did this every night for years, and he wrote that over time these imaginary figures became so real to him that he was startled by their answers, and that the counsel he received in those meetings shaped decisions that built his life. He was careful to say he knew they were imaginary. He was not confused. He was deliberate. He had found that the last image the mind holds before sleep is the image it works with all night, and he chose to make that image a room full of the greatest minds he knew, all focused on his aim. You do not have to picture 9 dead men. You have to do what he was actually doing. Give the mind its final picture on purpose. So the last minute is this. Lights off, eyes closed, and you see, as clearly as you can, tomorrow's hard thing already done. Not the struggle, the completion, the exact moment you finish it, the feeling in your chest, what you do next. Hold it for a full minute. Then let sleep take you with that as the last thing in the room. Close, decide, speak, see, 10 minutes. And the mind goes to work on your aim for 8 hours while you do nothing at all. Before I tell you what happens by morning, I have to tell you the 3 ways people break this, because I would rather you hear them from me tonight than discover them on night 4. The first way is skipping the close. People love the speaking and the seeing. They skip the 2-minute question because it feels dull, and they wonder why the aim will not stick. It will not stick because you planted it on top of an open day. If you only have 3 minutes tonight, spend them on the close and the decision. Speak and see can wait. Clear ground first, always. The second way is speaking without feeling. You mumble the aim like a password and go to sleep. Hill was blunt about this. Words without emotion are dead. He said the subconscious recognizes only thoughts that have been mixed with feeling, and it ignores the rest. So if you notice, you are reciting instead of stating. Stop, take 1 breath, and say it once more the way you would say your own name to someone who doubted it. 1 real repetition beats 10 empty ones. The third way is the one that stops most people. Missing a night. You do it for 4 nights, life gets loud on the 5th, and you decide the streak is broken and the whole thing is over. It is not. Hill never asked for perfection. He asked for persistence, which he defined as the habit of returning. A missed night is not a failure of the ritual. It is the first test of it. The people whose lives changed were not the ones who never missed. They were the ones who came back the next night without a speech about it. Skipping the close, speaking without feeling, quitting after a miss. Watch for those 3, and there is very little left that can stop this from working. Here is what people report after 7 nights of this, and it is the same thing Hill's students reported 100 years ago. The morning stops being a fight, not because you became disciplined, because there is nothing left to decide. The day is closed, so you are rested. Tomorrow was decided, so the hard thing is already scheduled. The aim was spoken, so it is the first thought that surfaces. And the last picture was completion. So the body wakes up expecting to finish, not to start. That is what discipline actually is. Not force, sequence. The men Hill studied were not stronger than you at 6 in the morning. They had simply refused to leave 6 in the morning undecided. And it compounds. Night 1, you feel slightly foolish. Night 3, the hard thing gets done before you have time to argue with it. Night 7, you notice you are reaching for the phone less because your mind already has something to hold. By the end of the month, the people around you start asking what changed. And you will find it hard to explain, because from the outside, nothing changed. Nobody saw the 10 minutes. They only see the person who wakes up already decided. And notice what you did not have to do. You did not have to change your personality. You did not have to find motivation. You did not have to buy anything. You gave up 10 minutes of a screen and gave them to your own mind instead. So here is what I want you to take from this. Tonight, before you sleep, the phone leaves the room. You ask one question and close the day. You write one line and decide tomorrow. You speak your aim aloud 3 times, and on the 3rd, you mean it, and you close your eyes on the picture of it done. 10 minutes, in that order, every night for 7 nights before you judge it. Hill wrote that the subconscious mind never sleeps, and that it will work for you or against you, but it will never work for nobody. Right now, it is taking its orders from whatever you looked at last. Starting tonight, it takes them from you. Most people will hear this, and do it once. You are still here at the end of this message, and that tells me you are not most people. You are the kind who finishes what he starts, in the dark, when nobody is watching. So finish this, 7 nights, then tell me what changed. If this found you at the right time, subscribe, because there is a new lesson here every day, and tomorrow's may be the one you needed most. Everything in this message comes from Think and Grow Rich and Outwitting the Devil, both linked below.